G'day guys, goeiedag. My name is Wildkard. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here and giving me the pleasure and privilege to entertain you as we talk about the greatest sport in the world, rugby. This weekend, it's crunch time, Rugby Championship Round 6, the mighty Springboks versus Michael Cheika's Argentina for a chance at the Rugby Championship. First up, it is still mathematically possible for the Springboks to steal the Rugby Championship from the mighty hand grip of the All Blacks. A lot of you guys are wondering, what do we have to do? So, the All Blacks and the Springboks are level at the point in terms of overall score. The only difference is point differentiation. So there are two ways. There are two avenues for the Springboks to win the Rugby Championship this weekend. One, if the Springboks scores a lot of points and surpasses New Zealand in points differential, that will potentially help them win the Rugby Championship. That will help them secure the Rugby Championship for sure, right? And currently, yeah, so you don't know how many points, you will know how many points you need to score going into the match because the New Zealand will be playing before South Africa. So you know exactly how many points you need, but it's going to be potentially a lot because the New Zealanders are playing the Wallabies at Eden Park, and they're expected to win by 100 points. So yeah, good luck. I mean, if you believe hard enough, you will be able to score more than 100 points against Argentina. But hey, it's up to you guys to believe in it. So mathematically, that's one avenue. The second way is a little bit controversial. If the Springboks can win with a bonus point, and the Wallabies can deny the All Blacks a bonus point, then the Springboks will win without point, regardless how many points are the difference. So my proposal for you is help the Wallabies, the tier 2 nation of Wallabies, bribe the referee. Everybody knows the Wallabies can't win without bribing the referee, right? So guys, you need to send me some money so we can bribe the referee and make sure that we don't lose by more than 3 tries. If we lose by more than 3 tries, New Zealand's going to get a bonus point. So we have to minimize, lose less than 3 tries. Impossible, but without bribing the referees. So, yeah. And also, a lot of you guys might be thinking, guys, we need to support the Wallabies this weekend. Yes, you're damn right. So, feel free to head over to wallabyshop.com.au and get your latest Wallaby jersey right here for a mere price of $159.95. I'm pretty sure that's like 1,500 rand. Okay, in case you're wondering, but that is worth every penny. You need to get the jersey to make sure the Wallabies have the best chance of losing less than 3 tries. Okay, that's what you're hoping for. That's what you're praying for. So yeah, feel free to head over to the shop and grab your merch right now. Obviously, going to this test match, this is going to be in South Africa. Argentina has had a pretty poor overall historical record against Springboks. They've only ever won 3 times against Springboks, and it all started in 2015. I wonder who the coach was. De Villiers, was it? Sorry, was it De Villiers? No. Who was it? Anyway, let me know who the coach was when this happened. I don't think it was De Villiers, actually. I'll take that back. I actually don't remember. Anyway, the nightmare for all the Springbok fans would have recurred to them as they realized the first time the Argentinians has ever beaten the Springboks was at Durban. At Kings Park Stadium in Durban in 2015. That was the first time ever the Argentinians has beaten the Springboks. So it's not an impossible feat for the Argentinians to win on the weekend. Yeah, and that is the only win also that Argentina has ever held over the Springboks at in South Africa. So yeah, the history is there. It's not impossible. Going to this weekend also at Durban, 24 degrees. It's raining today and it's going to be dried up on Saturday. So it'll be a perfect day. Perfect day for rugby. And with all that being said, let's have a look at the teams. Both teams has made minor changes to the team. The Springboks had to make a few adjustments due to injuries, but overall, a pretty standard setup for pretty similar setup for both teams from previous week. So let's start with the big boys at the front rows. Steven, the man Kitov, comes back at number 1. And Malcolm Marks for this is the 4th game in a row now. These two guys have started for the Springboks after being kind of assigned as the bomb squad, as the finisher for the Springboks for many years now. So both of them gets another chance to start. Franz Malherbe gets number 3 jersey once again, finishing off the Springboks. The mighty front rowers for the Springboks 4-pack. For Argentinians, Nahul Tetas Caparo retains the number 1 jersey next to his captain, Julian Montoya. Eduardo Bello, after being called up from the bench, has retained the number 3 jersey once again for the Argentina in that tight head position. Now, the scrummaging last week was surprisingly, like the Argentinians surprisingly had a little bit of advantage over the Springboks due to some timing issues with engagement and pushing. So I think it's more like a technical issue from the South Africans in terms of their maybe in terms of the timing with the referee. Overall, I feel like the scrummaging was pretty even. Maybe, in fact, when the scrum did get going, it did look like the Springboks might be a little bit stronger. We'll have to see how it goes this weekend, but it wasn't near. I mean, it's pretty hard to tell how the scrum is going to go this week based on last week's performance, to be really frank. Coming in at number 4, the greatest lock in the world and future World Wrestling Federation champion, Eben Esterhuizen Itzebeth, comes in at number 4 for the mighty Springboks once again. Greatest lock ever. He is absolutely tremendous. It's always a pleasure to watch him play. The way he plays with the forwards is something that, really warms the deep cockles of my heart. Just watching this man do his lineouts, do his cleanouts, it's just, good times. Obviously, the Argentinians had also retained the locking duo. Matias Alemano gets number 4 jersey. Thomas Laulini continues to tick up his record-breaking yellow and red cards. So he had another yellow card added to his already record-breaking card count. He's already the world highest professional player receiving cards. So he had another one last week, and this week, hopefully, fingers crossed, he don't get another one. He's probably had to work. He's probably heard a lot of that again from Checa after the game. Lou Diacha gets number 5 jersey for the Springboks. The trialed and the best locking combination for the Springboks at the moment, next to Itzebeth. In the loose forwards, one change for the Springboks. Coming in at number 6, firstly, is the captain, Sia Khaleesi. Retains that open side flanker jersey at number 6. And then for the Springboks, in that 3rd lock position at number 7 jersey, Peter Sepp du Toit returns over Franco Mustard. He had a bit of a knee injury. He's back in full speed at the number 7 jersey. Jasper Visa, number 8 for the Springboks to round up the loose forwards. So 3 really different players on the field. Peter Sepp du Toit is someone who likes to play tight around the ruck area as a defensive and a counter rucking unit. He literally just stays around the rucks. He stands around the rucks, blocking the box kicks and everything. That's his job. Sia Khaleesi is a guy that plays a little bit out wide. He carries the ball a little bit. He's good running, and he tries to pressure that breakdown in the open field a bit, more like a traditional flanker. And then Jasper Visa, a completely different number 8 from everybody else, like every other team in the world. He's more of a high ball specialist that chases the box kick a lot. On top of his obvious carrying roles as a runner option in the center field. So very different styles with very different clear roles in the loose forwards for the Springboks. Once again this weekend. So for the Argentinians, comes in number 6. Juan Martin Gonzalez retains the jersey number 6. Marcos Crema gets the number 7 jersey for Argentina. Crema is another guy who has a lot of discipline issues. He has a short temper, but he has improved a lot. Unlike Thomas Avellini, he has actually improved a lot with his discipline since Michael Checa took over. And it looked like he's definitely worked on that managing managing that aggression towards the game instead of getting himself penalized, which is really, really good to see. Marcus Kremer, Argentinians like to use him as a bit of a dummy runner, as just a bit of a one-off crash ball runner. So that's kind of his role. He's like he almost plays like a tight forward at times. Pablo Matera is the best player in the Argentina team. He is absolutely spectacular. His running game is good. His ball handling is good. He's picked up a lot of that attacking rugby style with his time at the Crusaders with the New Zealanders. And obviously his set piece, his leadership, the energy that he brings to the team is absolutely spectacular. Absolutely, what do you call it? Spectacular for Argentina. In the back line, there's one change for the Springboks. First up, Jaden Hendrickson retains the number 9 jersey for the Springboks. It's good to see that he kind of the box kicks that's really well managed last game. There was no stupid box kicks, inside the opposition 40 essentially. All the box kicks are well managed around center field position. And in fact, the Springboks did look like they made an effort to not kick the ball away last week inside the opposition 40, which was really good to see. So Jaden Hendrickson returns to number 9. Gonzalo Bertrano returns the 9 jersey for the Argentinians. And number 10, my hero, Francois Steyn, returns to the number 10 jersey. So I actually asked you guys if he has ever played number 10 before at the international level. Apparently he did in 2008 against Italy. He had a start at number 10. So yeah, more than a decade ago, 14 years ago, the last time he started at number 10 for the Springboks. But last week he came off the bench. He had a fill-in for Damien Willemse, who had a head concussion at the 10 jersey. It looked fine. He does play 10 for the Cheetahs, so it's not like he's hasn't actually played 10 at all for 10 years, over 10 years. So he will be fine. But it just comes down to what kind of strategy the Springboks is going to break, because we know that Francois Steyn is the king of the kicking game. He's extremely good with that big boot, with the kicking. So whether or not that the kicking game is going to be more of a style going into this game than previous week, we have to see how the game plays out for the Springboks. So also 50-meter drop goal. Hello, anyone everybody wants to see that. So hopefully we see a drop goal, maybe not 50 meters, because Steyn has said that he probably can't kick that far anymore. But, I still believe. 50-meter drop goal from Francois Steyn. Okay, let's do it. At number 10 for the Argentinians, Santiago Carreras comes in again for number 10. A very different style to the Springboks likes to play. In fact, very different style to the traditional Argentinian kicking game and penalty-oriented style. Santiago Carreras has learned a lot of running, attacking rugby, almost like a rugby league style of play that has brought into the Argentina side and really spiced up the Argentina attack quite a bit with him in place of Sanchez. So again, this weekend, whether or not he's going to be able to play a few of those tricks to send his teammate through the gaps, we have to see. Marco Zuluma-Pimpi comes in once again for the Springboks in that lock number 11 jersey. Juan Imhoff returns to number 11 for the Checkers Argentina. And it looks like Michael Cheika has opted to try to bring some experience in the backline for the Argentinian side. Damien Dialendi returns that number 12 jersey for the Springboks. And Jeremiah De La Fuente returns to the number 12 jersey. Jesse Krill, another high ball specialist in the outside center position. Whether or not that's going to be utilized more this week, we have to see. Matias Moroni comes in at number 23, moving up from the bench. Kanan Moody retains that number 14 jersey for the Springboks. Emiliano Bonfelli gets a number 14 jersey for Argentina. He's also the goal kicker with 100% goal kicking rate. So also, interesting to mention the goal kicking. Francois Steyn will be doing the goal kicking as well for the Springboks. His goal kicking was, I think, 100%. It looked quite good. Even slotted the one right from the sideline last week. But is he going to have the consistency? We have to see. We know that Steyn has a really long range goal kicking, but his accuracy has always been, with long range, has kind of has always been, maybe sometimes they push it a little bit. We'll have to see how he goes this weekend. But overall, Stang is a pretty good goal kicker. But I do feel like Emiliano Bofelli has a higher kicking percentage over Stang, to be honest, because his kicking is quite high. It's like, close to 90%, if not higher. So Emiliano Bofelli also has probably anywhere inside your 50. He's, anywhere around that 40-meter line. He has the range to kick the goal as well. So pretty big boot himself for the Argentinians. At the fullback position, Villarreal returns to number 15 jersey, and Juan Cruz Malia for the Argentinian side at the number 15. On the bench, quite a number of changes for the Springboks, returning to that bomb squad setup with 6 forwards and 2 backs again for the Springboks. So first up, Mbungi Bunabi comes back at number 16 for the Springboks, returning from an injury. Ox Nche comes in at number 17, and Vincent Koch returns to the tight head position to round up the tight forwards at number 18. For the Argentinian side, one change in the front rowers. First up, Augustin Krivi, the veteran, comes in at number 16. He's potentially going to be the first player to reach 100 test caps for the Argentinians. Number 17 is Michael Vivas, gets added into the team for the in place of what's his name? Not Scarvy. What's his name? Anyway, he replaces the young fella. Anyway, so yeah, Vivas gets caught into the loose head position. Joe Scarvy retains that number 18 jersey with his 144 kilos coming off the bench, really ready to take on the Springboks bomb squad. This will be a difficult task for the Argentinian side. Franco Mustard moves to the bomb squad at number 19 jersey. Dwayne, the Rock Vermeulen, returns to number 20 jersey after having a bit of a few weeks off. And Guido Petty for the Argentinian side comes in number 19. Pedro Rubilo, a debutant for the Argentinians at number 20 jersey. Number 21, Albertus Smith comes back for the Springboks to round up the four-pack bomb squad. And Albertus Smith, a breakdown specialist, fast speed tempo. He will be potentially coming off. No, he will be coming off for Siak Khaleesi most likely in the second half. Thomas Kubeli comes in at number 21 for the Springboks. For the Argentinians, for the number 9 jersey. Faf de Klerk, Francois de Klerk comes in number 22. They actually talked about having him potentially covering the 10 jersey as well. So he's not only covering 9, he's also covering 10 for Francois Steyn. So Faf de Klerk has a bit of an extra role this weekend. He did talk about how he's ready to play 10 if needed for something to, if an injury occurs to Francois Steyn. Benjamin Udapeleta comes in for number 22 for Argentina. And currently Arensa returns to the fold at number 23. And Batista Delgoy comes in number 23 for the Argentina, gets called into the squad for the Argentina side. So yeah, this is a big task for the Springboks. It looks like the Springboks has gone back to their bread and butter of trying to impose that forward dominance over their opposition. It is a little bit risky without a specialist 10 on the bench. And so I just typically the way Springboks play with the bomb squad with 6-2 setup is more kicking. With more kicking, it is less likely that players get injured as well. So they really wanted to use that kicking and use that forward to take the brunt of the game, to impose their strength to the brunt of the game, and have the backs just kind of like hang out a little bit. It is the way the Springboks play to make sure, kind of like minimize the chance of injuries or the back line as well. So I will be expecting more kicking this game from the Springboks, and a lot more, forward dominance is expected from the Springboks in terms of scrummaging and more. And will be good to watch. Whether or not the Springboks going to win the Rugby Championship really depends on whether or not you guys will send me money to bribe the referee for the Wallabies All Blacks Split Cup game. So my predictions, Springboks 28. Argentina 10. Is that going to be a bonus point? I don't know. Are they going to kick 16 goals? Penalty goals? I don't know. You let me know. Let me know your prediction down in comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on the reviews in the weekend. Cheers.